21st Century Entrepreneurship with Martin Piskarik.
What impact has Facebook had on the way businesses advertise and market themselves?
Well, Facebook definitely changed the whole perspective, changed the game. Businesses are looking to advertise online. It's more efficient. They can track their results. They can see what's working, what's not. As opposed to, let's say, billboards, when you put a billboard or an ad on a TV, you don't know how many people saw it, you don't know how many people acted. With digital advertising, and especially Facebook, you can see how many people saw your ad, how many clicked, how many ended up purchasing. That way, you can double down on what's working. That's one thing. The second thing is that Facebook gives ability to target your users. Let's get back to the billboard example. When you see a billboard for a new ad, you might need a new ad, you might not. You cannot control who will see it. With Facebook and its targeting option, you have an option to choose, let's say, people that are interested in football. We are going to show them, I don't know, football boots or New Jersey. Those people are like already more inclined to buy because you're showing them what they're interested in. So basically, a lot of people say ads are annoying. In my eyes, the only annoying ad is the one that's not relevant. So if you make your messaging and your ad relevant to the audience, that makes a perfect match, both for the advertisers and for the end user.
And regarding those user experiences, anything changed since Facebook inception?
So like when I started with media buying 7 years ago, like the only placement was feed. So basically you could advertise only on a Facebook feed. Then they added Instagram, since they bought Instagram. Then they added Instagram stories. Then they added Instagram Reels. So basically when we started, the main format was image and then horizontal video, like on a YouTube. Then we got back to then we kind of like switched to the more vertical videos that are on Instagram story, Instagram Reels. So definitely we are changing. We are going to that mobile first placement. As I said, Facebook acquired Instagram, so there are kind of new placements open up there. Obviously, as a lot more people are starting to advertise, it is getting more expensive. But when you know what you're doing, it's not a big deal. Let's say, like in last 12 months, I spent over 30 million on Facebook ads for my clients and generated over 200 million in revenue. So basically, even though things are changing, if you are kind of updated with all the new things that are happening, all the kind of potential new features, tips and tricks, it's easier to let's say scale your ads. And like even those small businesses are kind of going digital. They are kind of advertising their restaurants, they're advertising their local shops because it's easier to reach customers. I would say it did get a bit more expensive. That's one thing. And the second thing is that the feed is kind of a more cluttered with the ads. Before you had one ad in every 10 posts. Now it is one ad in every like 3 to 5 posts, which can be pretty annoying considering Facebook is a social media platform and we want to like spend time there to engage with our friends. So like sometimes even for me as an advertiser, ad can be overwhelming.
And you mentioned Instagram. There are some people that are stressing out the importance of that specific acquisition. What are your thoughts?
I mean, for Facebook, obviously they could not compete what Instagram brought. Instagram brought kind of like everything was looking super cool. People were spending more time on the Instagram. So it made kind of like a perfect acquisition for them because they added another platform to their kind of network or platforms. It allowed them to kind of get exposure. It allowed them to get reach to new people that would spend more time there. Same thing happening now with the Reels. Like, they did not made up Reels. They kind of copied TikTok because they saw people are switching to content that's more engaging, that's full screen experience, like that is scrollable in a different way. People are spending more times on a TikTok. They're also spending more times on the Reels. So it's just like a numbers game. They acquire what people want and what they think is a perfect fit in their environment.
And some other strategies that you are maybe aware of that are being employed by Facebook to remain competitive in that specific social media landscape?
So, I mean, they acquired WhatsApp as well years ago, but they are kind of now switching to the metaverse, which is kind of, they expect to be their kind of like next, let's say, golden child. They're putting a lot of resources there. Unfortunately, it does not look great for them, considering they lay off 11K of employees last like 2 weeks ago. But I mean, they obviously have some numbers, and they see that community and the environment is going into that direction. To be honest, it's kind of a bit hard for me to imagine how would that look. But I mean, if they're doubling down so much on that, there's obviously a reason behind that.
Regarding the layoff that you just mentioned, what's going on with Meta, with Facebook?
So basically, they kind of focused all of their efforts onto Metaverse. They even changed the name from Facebook to Meta. So they expect that channel, that way of entertainment to be bigger. Unfortunately, for some reason, that did not happen. Alongside with the appearance of TikTok, that kind of like captured pretty substantial market share, that resulted in kind of results they did not expected. So basically, the results are not what they expected. Their stock price is going down. Probably there are some kind of shareholders that are not satisfied with the direction, and they considering they kind of they're determined to go with this metaverse, and they're still their main source of income are ads. It's kind of a decision they chose to go, and whether that will work, we'll obviously see in like a year or two.
But the platform is still standing pretty okay, yes?
Yeah, I mean, people say like Facebook lay off 11K people, it's not great, but I mean, still there's no platform that can compete with Facebook when it comes to advertising. Facebook is the most robust platform. It has most users, it has most data on those users. It has the most precise targeting. It has the most option to show your ad on a different platforms in a different format. It still has the best way of reporting data back to the users, back to the advertisers. So regarding the advertising, Facebook is still a king compared to, let's say, Pinterest and Snapchat, on which advertisers do not have like much success. I would say that TikTok is kind of starting to get better, and obviously Google is one. But the difference between Facebook and Google is that Facebook is generating demand and Google is capturing. You cannot show an ad on Google if someone is not already interested. On Facebook, you can spark that interest very easily with your ad. So that's the difference. When it comes to acquiring new users, Facebook is still the king.
And what motivated you to become an expert in Facebook advertising?
So that's actually a funny story. I was on my senior year of college. I was actually studying computer science, but I mean, I was good at it, but like I did not enjoy it. But alongside with that, I was pursuing soccer career. So I was trying to like figure out what to do with my life. and somehow I stumbled upon ad with around like digital marketing. I did not know much about it, so I started learning about it, reading all the blogs, watching the YouTube videos, and kind of it was super interesting to me because I'm good with numbers. I'm kind of I'm like detail oriented, so it kind of was a perfect match for me. Luckily, one of my friends was doing Facebook ads, so I started kind of working with him. I was questioning him all the day. Why did you do this? Why did you do this? How this works? Stuff like that. He was super patient with me and super grateful to him for that. So I started working with him, and soon I started working as a freelancer. I saw the opportunity. This is the direction the world is going. We are switching to digital. In Croatia, like it's not so, let's say it's not so widespread that people are buying online. They are buying online, but more from the UK or US brands. So that's why I started working with US and UK and Australian brands. I started working as a freelancer with them. To be honest, like the money was also a part of the equation, because you can earn pretty good amount of money when you work as a media buyer. And yeah, I mean, I'm doing this now for 7 years. I went from freelancer to head of performance at the Inspire agency. We are a boutique agency working with a handful of clients. Besides that, we have few of internal brands that we kind of launch. One is in a skincare niche, one is in a supplement niche. And yeah, I mean, considering we are having success, this was a natural path for us to start our own brands, because we have a proven track of records scaling other brands to nine figure a year.
How have your strategies and approach evolved since the beginning of your career?
So, like, this landscape is changing pretty quickly. I would say that initially the focus was only on Facebook feed and only on the images. There was no so much competition. Everything was easier. Like they say that era between, let's say, 2017 and 2020 is kind of like the golden era of Facebook, because there are so many people that had achieved success with their Facebook ads. Basically, you could just create one image and like some headline, and you could get, I don't know, $5 for each dollar that you put in. Now it is getting more tougher. Now there's a lot more competition, meaning that the ads are more expensive. On Facebook, you pay price to show your ad 1,000 times. So basically, as there is more competition targeting the same people, advertising similar products, you have to differentiate. You have to have something that kind of is unique about your product to have a success. Obviously, there's a lot more tools that are now helpful with creating a video ads. I would say definitely that, like, without a video, it's hard to advertise now, because you see, it is easier to tell a story with a video. You can showcase your product. You can show how it works, how it helps, what are some benefits. You can kind of see the expression of a person's face when he's using the product. So it's easier to kind of convey people to buy. Regarding to my strategies, so I mean, marketing principle stays the same. So when you have a user that is ready to buy, if you present him with a good offer, he's going to probably buy. But some of the ways that we are communicating our offer and how are we approaching the customers, let's say if you're someone who never heard about my brand or my product, then we try to kind of tell you what the product is, how it works, how it helps, and how it can benefit you. Potentially you saw that, but you're not so interested, you're not so conveyed. Then we use some different ad that is kind of like saying testimonial or a review. When we say, okay, this is the person that already bought the product, you can see how it kind of like makes sense for you to buy as well. Then the user is kind of like more inclined to buy. Then he potentially clicks on the website, click on the ad, lands on the website, but maybe he's not, maybe it is too expensive for him. Maybe he doesn't want to kind of like buy it. Then we have an option to show him like an ad that says like, if you buy in the next, I don't know, 2 days, you get 20% off. So basically in what stage of our funnel we treat the customer is, we treat him differently. Initially, we want to educate him. Then we want to kind of emphasize what are the benefits of our product. Then in the end, if we have to, we kind of like rely on the discounts or some other potential objection handling copies. Like we mentioned, there's a free returns, there's a free shipping or stuff like that to get them to buy.
What have been some of the biggest challenges on that journey? Maybe you faced as a Facebook ad expert.
Yeah, so basically, sometimes Facebook can kind of like reject your ad even though you did not do anything wrong. Obviously, they rely on the AI to do that checking often, and sometimes you get banned like without a reason. If you don't have a dedicated Facebook agency rep that can kind of like help you, it's kind of tough at the start when you have no one to kind of like reach out. That's not, I mean, now that we spend significant amount of money, we have a dedicated person that is taking care of all our clients and ads. So it's super helpful to have someone like that to kind of to help you with those issues. That's first. The second is the famous iOS 14.5 update for the iOS for the iPhone users. That kind of made users to obliged to kind of like they have to opt in if they want to be tracked. Meaning, if they do not opt in, we don't have a data and we don't know whether you visited our website, whether you added to cart. So it's tougher for us to optimize. But as I said, if a users opt out, he would potentially get some of the ads that are not relevant to him. And as I said in the beginning, if the ad is not relevant, then it is annoying. So it is in best user's interest and advertiser interest that the user accept option to be tracked. It doesn't mean that we know that user Martin was on this website and added this to cart. We just know that some person, there's a kind of like person from this that saw this ad added to cart. So like we do not know who the real person is. So I would say that iOS 14.5 was one of the kind of like toughest moment since it was implemented a year and a half ago.
What stories can you share regarding your work with helping brands maximize their advertising impact?
So I think that there's one story that kind of like pictures this perfectly. So we had one client that we started working, I think it was 2019 at the summer. He was spending maybe like 2K a day on the ads. We still worked with him. So basically we are taking care of 10 of his accounts. We scaled that one brand to, at one point I was spending $100,000 on the ad daily. So, I mean, that's 3 million a month. And like for every $1,000, I was generating 500,000 a day of revenue. So you could imagine how big impact that, since we took over that account, how big impact he had in his like revenue increase. Obviously, he's super satisfied with us that he gave us like other accounts that we handle. So I would say that's kind of like my personally best success story, that I managed to scale one client from 2K spend to 100K spend while improving his results. Because usually as you start spending more and more, it's tougher to find a customer profitably on Facebook, because it's not so easy for Facebook to find a potential prospect immediately. But to be honest, like that product was a great product. It was one size fits all that kind of made our advertising efforts easier. But I would say that like we did test it extensively. Like at the beginning, you test like a lot of things, then you find something that kind of is showing some success. You made some iteration based on that, then you double down, then you scale. So I would say that our process for testing creatives, optimizing the ads, and eventually scaling the ads is something that every e-commerce owner should implement, because it dramatically increases the chance of success. Obviously, the foundations are the most important, that you have a product that has a proven product market fit, and you have a website that is converting on a decent percentage. Then we come and we kind of like turn off Facebook ads and we amplify that offer. So Facebook ads are cherry on the top. When you have something that's working, we are here to scale. We are here to get you to 7 figures, 8 figures, 9 figures, no matter what level you are. In collaboration with Martin, to all of you guys that have e-commerce stores and that are already running Facebook ads, we organized that if you apply to the link in the show notes, you can get a free audit of your Facebook ad account. As I said, we spent over 30 million this year, and when we do an audit of your ad account, we can see what are some of the things that you are doing wrong, what we could improve, and what makes more sense. And like what are our suggestions to improve the efficiency of your ad account. So click the link and apply, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
21st Century Entrepreneurship with Marin Piskarik.